Ashwin. Welcome to my channel Ashwin's Astrology. Planet Mars, also known as Kuja or Mangal, will be transiting to its Moola Trikona Rashi on 1st of June, that is next Saturday. Planet Mars is a fiery planet and Mesha Rashi is an Agni Tattva Rashi. So planet Mars is moving to its own sign or Moola Trikona Rashi, which also has the same kind of nature, the similar nature, that is Agni. So the fiery sign is where the Mars is transiting to. So this should bring greater amount of benefit results because the planet will feel much better and will be able to express itself in a much better way. So Mars somewhere feels home now after moving to Mesha Rashi. So after transiting the whole zodiac and currently when it is in Meena Rashi, which is a watery sign and a friendly sign, that too with a malefic like Rahu, Mars will be transiting to Mesha Rashi. So this depicts that the benefit result which the world was awaiting to see from Mars, that also can be seen after Mars transits to Mesha Rashi. But Mars is a natural malefic planet. So Mars, any kind of result will not be complete if it is not with the negative result. So we can even expect some amount of negative results. In this video, I'll be mentioning the mundane predictions first due to Mars transit to Mesh Rashi, and then I'll go ahead with the individual moon sign predictions. So the first part of video will consist of mundane predictions. If you like my video so far, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon to receive instant notifications. So in mundane predictions, first I'll cover for country Bharat and then we'll move to whole world also in general. So as you can see on the screen, I'm displaying both North Indian and South Indian Kundli for our viewers' convenience. So this is the Kundli casted at the time of transit of planet Mars to Mesh Rashi. So on an average, planet Mars stays in a sign for around 45 days. That's around 1.5 months. And this time Mars is staying in Mesh Rashi for around 42 days. So as I mentioned, Mars is entering to its Moola Trikona Rashi, the Agni Tattva Rashi, whose nature is very similar to itself, and also will be staying for 42 days. So if we remember India's independence only, it is Lagna with Vrishabha Lagna and moon is in Pushya Nakshatra, Karkatak Rashi. So at the time of transit of Mars to Mesha Rashi now, it will be Tula Lagna, which is the 6th house from the India's independence only perspective. So this is 6th house is a very important house because it's not a good house. So we can expect some challenges or we can expect some amount of disputes also to erupt all of a sudden. Mars is the 7th and 12th lord from the India's independence only, which is transiting in the 12th house, Mesh Rashi, and also from moon perspective, it is transiting in the 10th house. So these two features also we have to note down. So from this, I can make these predictions. There could be attempts from anti-national elements in raising voice against the ruling government. There could be some people who or some group of people also who would be posing some amount of threat to ruling government also, and there could be some external threat also because 7th and 12th house, Lord being Mars, will represent foreign affairs and external affairs. So there could be some external threat also, and also there could be a possibility of firing at borders also, or some amount of international disputes also. So during this time period of 42 days, because Mars is staying in this time for 42 days, we can see the Foreign and External Affairs Ministry being very active and being very pressurized also, because Mars being the 12th lord, so it will bring that negative element also. So they will be pressurized to answer, to take action immediately. So we can see the Foreign and External Affairs Ministry being very active during this time. Also, Mars moving to the Mesh Rashi will give a great amount of energy and strength to our armed forces, for police forces, and all those protective forces of our country. So we can see that any kind of strikes, riots, or any kind of disputes which takes place within the country also, because Mars is in a very good stand and in a very good strength also, we can see armed forces and police forces will be able to control them and also will be able to maintain the law and order. So this is one good aspect happen. And Mars being in the 12th house will aspect three houses. Mars has an outer planet from the geocentric position will have three aspects. That is 4, 7 and 8. So through its fourth aspect, Mars will aspect the third house of India's Kundli, that is Karkatak Rashi. So the Karkatak Rashi for India's Kundli represents the neighboring countries, and the sixth house, which Mars is aspecting, the Tula Rashi or the Lagna of the Kundli at the time of transit. So this represents the armed forces, war, labor classes, strikes, riots, and all, and also the places where records are kept. And it also aspects the seventh house, which represents the international matters, which represents the foreign policies and also any open warfare and relation with other countries, and also like anti-social elements also, or people who doesn't cooperate with government as well. So these kind of significations are also attached to seventh house. So all these three houses also gets activated as soon as Mars moves to the 12th house, that is Mesh Rashi. So we can expect some kind of problems posed to the government, some unnecessary disputes within the government, which would make the government which will make the government in a troublesome situation, which will put them into a troublesome situation. But if we see very closely, Sun, who is the Karaka of a ruling government, is present in a benefic sign, Rishabh Rashi, that is on the Lagna itself, and is conjunct with all the benefits. That is the most unconditional benefit, Jupiter and Venus. And Venus is the disposer of Sun also. That is the Rashtrapati of Rishabh Rashi itself is present in the Rishabh Rashi along with Sun, and also Mercury, who will move to Rishabh Rashi on 31st of May. So Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, all the three benefic planets are present with Sun in the Rishabh Rashi, which is a blessing to the ruling government. And also the planet Saturn, Shani, who is Karaka for public, the significator of public, is placed very well in the Kundli in the 10th house from the Rishabh Lagna, and is in Kendra to the Sun. So in a way we can say that public also will render a great amount of support and public will be with the government. So there will be a great amount of affection and support the government will receive from the public as well. Mars is representing the third house, which is neighboring countries, and also the sixth house, which represents armed forces, labor, warlike situation, and seventh house, the international disputes. So all these three houses gets activated during this time period. So we may see some kind of external threat from our neighboring countries posing a warlike situation for us, and also the armed forces or the foreign secret agents will bring us some important news which will alert the armed forces and also will be very active at the border. So that's why I mentioned there could be some cease firing also at the border, which we can expect during this 42 days. And because it is affecting the sixth house, which is in general the doctors, surgeons, or medical and paramedical services, there is one peculiar development we can have notice during this time. There could be some issues regarding hospitals or surgeons which may all of a sudden come into public and quickly get resolved also. So that's one thing feature, because Mars is currently in Ashwini Nakshatra, which is Ashwini Devtas, and it represents surgeons. And even Mars is also a significator of surgeons. So this is very important time period, because 12th house represents hospitals, and through that it will be aspecting 6th house, which represents these diseases, doctors, surgeons, and all. So this would be a very good time period for any kind of issues which medicine field is facing to get it resolved. And also a long pending wish of medicine field also will get resolved or will get fulfilled during this time period. So this is also noted. So some positive developments for medicine field is during this time is very much noted. Next, coming to the international disputes part. So, as I mentioned, the foreign ministry or the external ministry will be in full swing action during this time period. And also the seventh house, which represents the antisocial elements or people who don't cooperate with government or people who violate the laws. So there will be a strict action taken to them by the government, because armed forces, police forces are in complete strength right now. So this time will be the time, this is the right time also to take the severe action towards them. And there could be some treaties also which would be formed, or there could be some kind of foreign trade and relations also which would be impacted due to this. So some bold and courageous actions also will be taken in the next 42 days, or we can see the glimpse of it happening as well. So from the natural calamities perspective, because Mars is a natural malefic, and coming to the Mesha Rashi, which represents east direction. So in eastern side of the India, to any other countries in the eastern side of India, we can expect any kind of natural calamities, especially like volcanic eruptions or earthquakes. Earthquakes are major because Jupiter is currently transiting in Vrishabh Rashi, which is a Earthy sign, Prithvi Tattva Rashi, and Mars coming to the its own Rashi, and which is the Karaka for earthquakes. So it's getting that good strength. So we can see now, because at this time Venus would be completely combust. So as soon as Mars moves to Mesh Rashi, at that time Venus will be in complete combustion from Sun, and that's why Venus will not be able to protect the countries. So eastern part of India, or the eastern countries from the India's place, we can see earthquakes at a very larger Richter scale also happening, causing a lot of loss of lives as well during this time period. Also, Mars, which is in Ashwini Nakshatra, represents the northeast direction in uh, Kurma Chakra, which is a widely used chakra for mundane predictions, Medini Jyotish predictions in Jyotish, especially for earthquakes or for any kind of natural calamities. So, this Ashwini Nakshatra in the Kurma Chakra represents the central region of India. So all this region, that is from the Kurma Chakra perspective, central region is the central part of Madhya Pradesh or Haryana, some parts of Haryana, Kurukshetra, Hastinapur, Delhi, all these places are called the central region of India. So these parts of India also might experience earthquake tremors during this time period. Also, there could be some anti-national elements disrupting the public properties, and there could be some threat to the public as well, civil servants as well. But because armed forces and police forces are in good strength, they'll be able to control them. But natural calamities and earthquakes would be uncontrollable, because it's systemic, it's not within our hands to do. So that's why we can experience, or we can see, or we can expect the earthquakes to affect these areas, the central part of Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, some parts of Haryana, or even some, that is Hastinapur, Kurukshetra, Mathura, all these places. So these are little bit places. These are the places which would be in some danger kind of situation from earthquake perspective. That is very much noted. For our country, Bharat as well, from the northeast side and from the east side, we may expect a sudden war-like situation as well. Because Mars coming to the Ashwini Nakshatra and then to Bharani Nakshatra, till the time it is in Bharani Nakshatra, we can expect some kind of sudden war-like situation, causing some death of our armed forces as well. Some we can even expect that gruesome kind of situation as well during this time period. So this is also one negative point I can say, which may happen during this time. But let's hope that it doesn't happen. But these are all the predictions which coming out of this transit. But because government will be well equipped and also is with all the benefits, government will be in a very complete mood of taking immediate action, and that too a right action. So we can see that no matter what kind of challenges are posed to the government, they'll be able to withstand that and deliver the results successfully. So this is also noted. So these were the predictions from the India's perspective. So from in general, from whole world, if we see, the eastern countries will be affected through natural calamity, and the Mesha Lagna is of many countries like Japan and also of England, or even of the countries which are having the monarchical rule till now, because sun gets exalted in Aries sign. So these countries also will be in some amount of danger, but they also will be forced to take immediate action to control those anti social elements in their nation. So that's also very much so. These countries also will be in very much news during this time period. And also to mention, there could be some fire accidents also during this time at the places like Birmingham, Florence, Naples, or any of the countries like England, France, Germany, Syria, Japan, Switzerland, Denmark, Palestine, or Lebanon has well. So all these countries have Mesha Lagna, the ruling has the ruling side. So these also will face some amount of threat during this time period, especially fire accident or anti-social elements causing them troubles, or some armed forces are required for some purpose during this time also for them. So all these are also noted. So now speaking from the whole world perspective, I have already mentioned for the natural calamities at the eastern side. So adding to that, some countries like England, France, Germany, Denmark or Japan also will face these natural calamities, as well as fire accidents also. So all of a sudden a forest fire or fire in the certain important places of tourism, tourist places also, they might witness that. And also there could be some anti-social activities erupting in these countries as well, which will cause some kind of headache to the government or the monarchy, irrespective to those countries. So this also would be this is also seen for these countries during these 42 days. And because armed forces, Mars is in a very good position, they'll be able to withstand these and will be forced to use the armed forces for each and every issue which is uh, seen during this time. So that is also noted. So there would be some destruction of public property or attack on a tourist place also during this time period. This I'm making based on the other planetary positions as well. Mars in Mesha Rashi here will be aspected by Shani, who is not a friend of Mars but a kind of an enemy to Mars, because Shani doesn't like Mars, and Shani gets debilitated or attains the Nichakva in the Mars Rashi, that is Mesha Rashi. We can expect some sudden events in the countries like USA, United States of America, because from the Simha Lagna, which is the Lagna of United States of America, 7th house Saturn is present. So from there it is aspecting the 9th house. So 7 and 9 are very important for foreign relations for United States of America. So we can expect some changes in the foreign policies for United States of America and how they deal with, and there could be some threat for the USA armed forces also. But again, because Mars is in good strength, they'll be able to withstand that. But Saturn's aspect on it will definitely cause some amount of harm or some amount of setback has done. So this is also noted. So these were the Monday set of predictions for the Mars transit to Mesha Rashi. I hope you liked it. Please drop in your feedback and suggestions in the comment box. I'll take it. And if you want to avail any personal consultations also, you can write to me at ashwinsastrology@gmail.com. I'll take it. So next I'll be making the individual moon sign predictions. Until then, thank you and have a good day.